He's middle management of men, Wesley Fox. A tamer of building codes and fires, Alan Giannis. And he delivers for America, Andrew Murr. Together, they are the Middle Class Holes.
Boy, oh boy, does Alan have an idea for a new arcade game. Kind of niche. Murr, we're going to run this one by you. Obviously, there's a little bit of a whiteboard session, but check it out. Alan, I'm going to set the table, if you don't mind. Okay. And you kick in the door like a chef who just cooked up the London broil of a lifetime. All right?
All right.
Okay.
That's
so we're enjoying the Newcastle game at the Abbey Burger this past Wednesday. Alan's there for the half. And his wife, who's there, also enjoying the game, mentioned, like, hey, we should get dinner, the four of us, you, Sarah, me, and Alan, on Friday. Then we'll go to the game bar, in Federal Hill. And I was like, oh, that one that they switched locations. They were here, it was a little bit smaller. Now they have the old Bandito. It's a much more robust, a lot more square footage, a lot more room for activities.
Yeah.
And the bartender, Gabby, God bless her heart, she says, why would you guys want to go to a gay bar after dinner? And I said, no, a game bar. Thus led to the discussion with the 4 or 5 of us who were drinking beers of what arcade games would be at a gay game bar. Alan came up with a gem. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, somebody called out like Big Buck Hunter, and I was like, oh, no, we could make a Big Bear Hunter, and it would just be big burly men, and you would be like, pow, but you'd just be blasting, maybe they're jizz bullets, I didn't even throw that. That didn't even exist when we first workshopped this one. But yeah,
no.
Boom.
Alan, no, you're shooting nipple rings onto him, maybe a Prince Albert to the crotch. Just think, ooh.
See, Murr, I knew when you were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this tonight." I was like, "Murr's perfect for this. He's gonna have something." Yeah.
Where's the idea guy, man?
I would say I didn't think it was gonna go over gangbusters like that. It's just the first thing that came to mind, and man, everyone at the bar was like, "Holy shit, that's a great idea!"
Somehow I feel like doesn't even have to be hit a gay game bar. It's a regular one.
You can put it here.
Somehow I feel like Double Dragon might make its way into the arcade.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
I like it.
Yeah, the big bear hunter could go a long way. I mean, it doesn't, the filthy mattresses involved. How hairy are the men? Do they have the bigger manes? The bigger the mane, the harder they are to bring down.
Yeah.
You have Chucks and Robs, and I guess you could name them. Then obviously you have your splooge accuracy after each level.
Load accuracy, I believe.
It's actually, I'm wondering, we should see if there's there was those old pornographic mega touches in bars forever, like where you had to do like the reveal. I don't know, you could do like clam snatchers, or you got to like get in there and pry open like some. I'm sure those clams have been pried open quite a lot, though.
So you're talking about those touchscreens that have dozens of games.
Yeah.
So this is like the showcase. This is the phase 1 rollout.
Yeah, there was like Hoop Jones and like quarterback thrower, and then like if you did a special swipe, you'd get to like ooh, and it was like a American version of Japanese anime, and you'd touch your little nipple and be like ooh, and
it would be one of those like find the differences in pictures, but it would just be like half naked ladies.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, it's this nipple. See, that nipple's hard.
The areola is quite distinct.
Yeah.
But the thing was with those is every time right before you had the big reveal, like they would, in their finest 16-bit action, just like, and they'd pull up like a blanket real quick right before you saw some titty. Fuckers.
Yeah. Big Bear Hunter coming to a bar near you.
Not even a gay bar, just a bar, a regular bar. Get ready.
Honestly, there was some actor, I can't remember who it was, it's a male actor, and he actively goes to gay bars, and they're like, why? It's like, well, men, once you tell another man that you're not gay, he generally backs off, and I don't have to worry about all these women, like, swooning over me for no reason. So it's like, if he goes to a gay bar, it turns into bro time, like, immediately, and then he doesn't have to worry about, like, fending off all the stray poontang that's just throwing itself at him.
Imagine just being so rich and good looking that like you're like, man, I gotta go to a gay bar. I can't even beat the pussy off with a stick. I have to go to a special pussy skiff, if you will, where nothing gets in or out. Like, that's the wild business.
Yeah, that's
what actor is this? Now I want to know.
I'm not sure. One of I not Tom Hardy, but someone of Tom Hardy's ilk, like that.
I mean, I get it. Then.
Like late 30s, single dude, just like fuck this. I'm going to the manhole. That's where I'm safe.
I'm going to Dude Farm. I'll be back later.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Middle classers, everyone. Foxman, Murr, Alan joining us for the first time in a minute. Thank you for coming back. Murr,
not bad. It should have been earlier, but I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I'm a sleepy boy.
Sleep patterns are running amok here. So, Murr, you have, I don't know if it's a conspiracy or just something you want to bring to light that history may have fibbed a little bit about. Was this something, were you having a discussion with Grok again and went down the rabbit hole?
I was actually, all right, I don't know if you guys know this. Are you guys aware of the Artemis missions that are coming up about with the moon and the rockets and the people?
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
Well, they're kicking the tires on, not tires, they're kicking the jets on going back.
Well, I didn't even know this. In 2022, Artemis 1 went up and flew around the moon, came back, splashed down. All systems go. This is unmanned, but it was like, this is how we're going to do it. I didn't hear two things about it. I don't know what was going on now in 2022, but I even asked Grok. I was like, was there a lot of news coverage on this? And it was like, actually, no. There were wars and other things going on. I was like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. But I was watching a video about Artemis 2 that's going to be launching at the beginning of next month, and possibly through April, depending on, flight windows and all that horse shit. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, I wonder what the moon landing conspiracy theorists are going to do when we actually finally do it. Maybe it's about 70 years late. I get it. I understand. But if we're actually going to do it. And at the bottom, it was like this, oh, you like conspiracy theories? I was like, no, I like moon landings. So I clicked on it, and all of a sudden, all these Helen Keller conspiracy theories popped up. And I was like, let me run down this little rabbit hole right here. And I gotta tell you, I think they got me. Fucking hooked me, man. Okay, I started doing some research on Helen Keller. As we know, 19 months old, goes blind, goes deaf, so never learned to speak, never saw shit. I'm not saying she was a dumb person. She was just incapable of communicating with the outside world until this little charlatan woman comes along and's like, oh, Helen, touch my face here and here, and we will let you communicate with the entire world to where you'll write 19 books and get a bachelor's degree as a woman in the fucking 1920s. Kiss my ass. Helen Keller didn't do any of that shit. No way. Not possible. Not hating on Helen Keller. I'm just saying, it sounds like there was a fraudstress pulling some strings for some notoriety. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's not that crazy. I don't even think that's that wild of a conspiracy theory. It's logical. Like, yeah. Look, if fucking Leo DiCaprio's character could forge checks in like 1960, fucking Helen Keller could get a bachelor's degree in 1920 with a fucking a grifter attached to her. Yeah.
So where do you draw the line? 19 books? So what does she wrote, like 4?
If she
none, 0. The answer's 0 books. She can't see, she can't hear, she can't fucking speak.
And again, nothing against this poor crippled woman or anything. By the way, props to her handler lady. I wish I had written her name down.
Yeah, that's smart. I'm going to look it up.
At the end of the day, it's one of these like white lies, I guess, that kind of is acceptable because it did pave the way for us to stop like throwing, mentally and physically handicapped people off of bridges for their own good or anything. So we learned that there's value to all human life, no matter the disability. That's great. I'm just saying, sort of like some of the like fake imagery, from NASA that does fuel the conspiracy theory. Maybe it's time we take a step back and be like, okay, maybe she didn't write all them books. Maybe she didn't actually earn a bachelor's degree from these universities. But we did a lot of good things in her name. Hail Helen. Maybe not that arm, but...
Yeah. Alan, you got a name here? I'm wondering if she like fibbed on the will so she'd get estate money and things like that, and her family got residuals through the years. If her books are still for sale, I don't know.
But here's the thing, Wes, because I know you hate conspiracy theories. Does this sound like a conspiracy theory, or does this just sound like potential fact?
No, this sounds 100% legit. That I'm now more on your side of the fence than what I thought of before we had this conversation. Well, actually, because you told me today, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's stupid as shit. I told Sarah, she's like, give me the show rundown. I brought this up, and she was like, yeah, what? What did she figure out a typewriter? That's bullshit. Total bullshit.
Like, okay, just interfacing with the world, right? Like, she wouldn't know what any colors are, not that disqualifies you from other knowledge, but you would have to then translate from touch what things are, and then somehow figure out how to translate what she feels as touch turned into other non-verbal communicative skills, and then she writes 19 books. I feel like the biggest moron that's ever graced the planet, because I've never written a book.
It's crazy. So her name is Anne Sullivan.
I feel like that rings a bell.
She too went like partially blind early, like at like age 5, and couldn't read or write. But then went to Perkins School for the Blind, and I guess became a genius. She started teaching soon after graduation, and then she became Helen Keller's teacher. She convinced Helen's parents to send her to Perkins School for the Blind, which feels a lot like a grifty, like, hey, send her to that blind school that I went to. You know what I mean? Like, pay them money. Anyway, here's where I think the conspiracy theory, and this is just a quick blip, but so Anne Sullivan ended up marrying a Harvard University instructor and literary critic named John Albert Macy, who helped Keller with her publications. So you got half-blind fucking super genius, apparently, fucking went to school of the blind teacher, marries Harvard literary critic / teacher, and that's probably when fucking Helen Keller writes 19 books.
Yeah, she prolific.
I think we figured it out. The ghostwriter is them two, namely the guy who could actually fucking see and write and read. Probably. I don't know, man. It's he moved in with them both, so you know he fucking definitely molested Helen.
Okay, well, is the money machine that she's the author? Hey, this blind deaf person wrote this.
Yeah, that's the cash cow. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, because if you're a shitty writer, I mean, listen, I have a feeling if you can't see, hear, or speak, and you put out a book, I'm pretty sure the literary critics aren't like, no, you know, you're not going to tear that one apart, because then you're the dickhead. But if you're a shitty Harvard professor who's like, well, maybe she can just like touch me like a Ouija board, and I'll just whip something up.
Yeah, it didn't say he was like a literary maestro. It said he was a literary critic. He was just reading shit and being like, trash, even though he, you know, but he wrote Helen Keller books. Which the bar was probably low. Like, he didn't even really need to write that great. Like, 1920s people were just like, oh my God, can you believe this lady can fucking write? I can barely read.
Look, Elizabeth, words.
Yeah, because fucking his wife couldn't read. He had to tell her about it. You know what I mean? That's the times we were in. You know? The bar was low is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and this lady, the interview I saw with her is like, well, this is Helen, and I taught her to speak by putting her finger against my nose, her other finger against my throat, and then I suck on the other finger like this. And it's like and by the way, the first noise she has her make is she's like, she first learned, I'm like, but she did, fucking slut.
Oh, God.
Stick your fingers in my mouth, Helen, and learn how to moan.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely that's not even a conspiracy. That's what happened.
Okay, good. All right, I feel a lot less crazy. I've always wanted to be involved in one of these and be like, ooh, this is my conspiracy. This one feels safe. It feels like I could wear this one like a warm coat.
I feel like I want to send edits to Wikipedia. Be like, this bitch is a fraud.
I wonder if there's a guy in the Helen Keller department. They updated it again.
Yeah.
The Helen Keller department.
It's just one dude.
Eating his bologna sandwich, yeah.
Just reads fucking nightmarish Helen Keller fucking conspiracies. Anyway.
I do want to get to this before we get to friend or foe. So, first of all, congratulations to and I may butcher this, the Hoosiers of Indiana for having a perfect season, 16-0. They ran the gauntlet. They ran the gamut. They beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. They pounced Alabama in the Rose Bowl. They took care of business against the Ducks of Oregon. Nike U in the semifinals. Then they won a really close game against the U in the U's home stadium in Miami. That team, the star power is the coach, Cignetti, second-year guy who's kind of written a new playbook on how to be successful with a smaller school or a smaller football school in Division I college football. Whether or not that's sustainable, to be determined. Then brings me to Exhibit B, Ferdando Mendoza, the Heisman-winning quarterback. Now, I had not heard him talk at all season until the post-game press conference. On the field, not the press conference, but on the field. And I had heard and I had read that he is a man of the cloth, a very devout Catholic, doesn't cuss, and all the other things that come with that. And I heard him talk. I thought, Jesus, this is primo dork. This is absolute fucking. This is dorkier than I had ever imagined. And then I thought, bit of conspiracy theory on my end, he's faking it. I felt like Walter in the Lebowski when he's like, yep, this guy can fucking walk. He's faking it. I just have a hunch that Mendoza, this is some sort of weird ploy to get America on his side to be the poster child of something. There's no way. There's no way. And I have a good example, but I don't know. Did you guys hear him talk or have you heard him talk?
Alan, have you? I went and listened to some interviews just because of this.
So yes, I have heard him talk, and he makes me uneasy. So like when you said something about it earlier, I was like, oh yeah, this is good because I don't really know much about the kid other than like Heisman won the national championship. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys got to say. But yeah, I think he's strange. Something's up.
Well, I saw an interview with him, and it was being interviewed by, like, I don't know, some other, probably like a journalism major on campus, and it's like, I heard that that you don't have time for girlfriends, that you don't date, and da-da-da, and he does this, like, all gee shucks kind of thing, and he's like...
gee shucks, that's exactly it.
And he's like, but, I mean, I'll say this, he gives the answer that every NFL owner wants to hear come from a potential multi-million-dollar contract. It's like, you don't have time for, distractions and things like that. And I mean, I'm a 3-minute walk from the training facility. I wake up football. I fall asleep football. I don't have time for any balls but my own, like that's so. And apparently, I didn't know this. His mom's kind of hot. But she does have like a debilitating illness.
She has MS.
Yeah. Like to give her some multiple sclerosis, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But I would imagine
you should tag him in this clip when it comes out too.
Hey, and I'm not hating on the handicapped, even though I just talked shit on Helen Keller as well. I'm saying I would have sex with a woman that has multiple sclerosis. So, hey, take that for what it is. But if you got a family member like that, maybe your wholesome morals change a little bit. Maybe they keep you a little grounded. So maybe he's the worst type of person. Wes is the one that is so innocent that he's gonna get destroyed when he enters an NFL locker room.
Especially the Raiders, who have the number 1 pick. Now they're not.
Or he just gets fucking like Tim Tebow'd, and they're just like, "Listen, buddy, we're millionaires, and we don't do this squeaky clean fucking bullshit." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He went to Indiana. This is not surprising. It's not like Indiana's not a big program. Let's be fucking real. Like, I mean, they are now, I guess.
Well,
right?
basketball, but schools tend to like.
Yeah, but I mean, like from a football standpoint, like,
right.
When I heard Indiana was number 1 in the country, like earlier this year, I was like, what? What? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's crazy talk. So, I mean, I think my gut feeling. You ever seen Scary Movie?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Scary Movie 2. I can't remember which scary movie it is, but Officer Doofy.
Yes.
And then at the very end, he like straightens up. He stops walking like club-footed and fucking straightens up, and he's all handsome and shit. I feel like that's it. That's what's happening. Like this guy's gonna come out and he's gonna have like a harem of fucking whores from at Indiana. You know what I mean? He had like a whole whore house. Whoops, knocked my microphone out. Lost my like totally 4 minutes the opposite direction from the training facility. This was a harem, and he would just go there after practice, get rub downs.
Here's what I was going to say. So, and I'm glad you brought up Tebow, because that's an easy parallel. Now, I feel as though, okay, let's just say for conversation's sake, both of these men practice what they preach. Okay, this is legitimately them. I feel as though Tebow, when he said, "Okay, when the time comes when I meet the right woman, I'm gonna fornicate. I'm gonna do my homework." He went on YouPorn. He went on all the channels. He took notes. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna lick here. She's gonna suck here. I'm gonna spank here. I'm gonna pull this hair, and I'm gonna give her some fucking Heisman dick. I'm gonna give her that Heisman fucking slammer, and she is
Florida
gonna
Gator Heisman dick, not just
that's right.
Not
Indiana.
Indiana."
That's right. But I feel like Mendoza is going to be surprised that he has to take all of his clothes off. He's going to be, wait, what? I'm every stitch, everything?
He's going to come out. He's going to come out in uniform with a dick hole, like just fuck.
But here's my question, though. Knowing look, NFL players, all walks of life. Okay, I have a feeling the loudest ones in the locker room probably tend to have some checkered pasts and such. Are you at a disadvantage if you go in to an NFL locker room with a squeaky clean, like, Boy Scout persona? Are these guys that some of them coming from the hard streets, their way out of poverty was through athletics, whereas this kid, I think he's going to miss the combine because he's going to some, like, business summit in New York to flex his degree in case football doesn't work out as the Heisman Trophy winner and possibly number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows Indiana Business School. It's up there with Wharton and fuck. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. Like this, it feels like the Twilight Zone. Like, what are we fucking talking about here? Why are we talking about a team in Indiana that isn't Notre Dame? Like, I don't. In football, Purdue, again. Come on.
But I think, all right, and Murr, you made a great point. Like, he gets drafted. Let's just say hypothetically, time machine it. Okay,
Raiders,
and that's where, unless they trade the pick away, which I've heard they might. But I'm just saying, time machine. Imagine he crossed paths with a 9-year Marshawn Lynch. And he's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, listen, I've been studying the playbook, and man, shut the fuck up.
Or what if he ends up in Cleveland? They like to draft quarterbacks unnecessarily, and he ends up with like Shador and Deshaun Watson, like as his like mentors.
That'd be a hell of a hard knocks. That quarterback room, Jesus Christ.
I saw a meme today, and it was like, you were the brother from Napoleon Dynamite when he gets dressed up kind of hood towards the end when he's with LaShonda or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
It was that meme, but it was fucking Mendoza after spending time with Max Crosby in Las Vegas. I was like, yeah, that could be true. I mean, that's the thing. You got to kind of fall in. Like, you can be squeaky clean in an NFL locker room. Phillip Rivers, fucking, he's got like 17 kids. They fucking go to church like every day. Fucking, they're wild. But he's cool. He's just laid back, Jesus guy. Fucking doesn't drink, perfectly fine. Slings the rock around.
Yeah, but
fucking Tebow was like, guys, let's genuflect together, and they were like, get the fuck out of here, Tim Tebow. Go play tight end.
Yeah, but like Phillip Rivers is like mean Christian, you know what I mean? Like he was the guy you went to church and he would still like razz you. Like he would, I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You still gotta be one of the boys. You can't be in there preaching, is what I'm saying.
But Tebow, and to his credit, like spent his whole life like traveling the world, going into like he was like circumcising kids in Malaysia for fun. You know,
I know.
So he had like world experience. This Mendoza kid just sounds like his parents held his hand to fucking practice every day, and he has no worldly skills. I'm just saying, you get in the huddle, and it's like, all right, fellas, here's what we're gonna do. Shut the fuck up, white bread. Like, okie dokie, run whatever you want, and I'll throw it where I can.
I feel like Philip Rivers could have preached at a black church. He's that kind of guy. Whereas Mendoza would be like, well, this is loud.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not my theater.
Listen, charisma goes a long way, man. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Plus, people know you're about that life. Like, is he Christian if he doesn't have 14 kids? Like, come on, fucking he needs to step it up, and then you get respect, especially from the locker room guys. You know, you get Stephon Diggs in there. He's got like 17 kids. He's like, respect, my guy. Fucking right. You know what I mean? Got to find common ground.
Like Philip Rivers is not existent. That's right.
yeah. Like, it'd be different if he was in there just fucking laying pipe, pumping out babies. Nope, he's just being a dork.
Time will tell if this is a sham. Like you said, Alan, it would be funny if 6 months, a year from now, allegations about a hen house on Hoosierville, the hen house of Hoosierville, ran by Fernando. He went by a different name.
He was just running. He was just running through freshman girls too, like fucking not even waiting. Just getting them fucking fresh.
The 30 for 30 docuseries, fucking Who's Your Daddy?
Jesus.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Friend or Foe. All right, party people. When I say middle, you say class holes middle. Wait, what the fuck?
All right, I've got a news story to you. Gonna read it, see if you agree or disagree, friend or foe. And it actually has a little bit to do with our good buddy, Mr. Mendoza, cursing and children. The friend or foe is gonna be pretty simple. Do you let kids swear? Friend or foe? No, they need to fucking learn respect. But children learn new words and expressions from a variety of sources. This can include swear words, which may surprise or concern some parents. The C.S. Mott Children's Hospital National Poll on Children's Health asked a national sample of parents with children ages 6 to 17 about their attitudes and experiences around children swearing. In describing their own view of children using swear words, 47% of parents think it's never okay. 35% feel it depends on the situation, 12% think it depends on the word, and 6% say swear words are no big deal. Parents of teens 13 to 17 are more likely to say it depends on the situation, while parents of younger children 6 to 12 are more likely to say that swearing is never okay. I don't want to keep reading it because it just reads like a medical study, but kids swearing, friend or foe. Alan, I have a feeling I know where you might land on this, but at least on the percentages, as far as like never okay, depends on the situation, depends on the word, where are you falling on this bad boy?
So, I mean, if I'm picking on that scale, I'm probably saying like depends on the word, and my nuance to that would be, and this is probably not in this study, I'm gonna have to run my own fucking research study, would be that like different ages and different words. You get what I mean? Like, I don't see like, you know, what's your kid like 10, Murr?
He's 11 now, yeah.
He's all right, so he's 11. You know, if he's like, damn, or what the hell, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit about that.
That's the exact stage we're in, by the way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that seems age appropriate. And like, in the grand scheme of things, fucking cuss words, take away stigma, are just words. And like, I'm a firm believer of the larger vocabulary you have, the better. Fucking use those words. They're color. They're fucking there for a purpose. Like, they can be fucked up, and you gotta know when to use them. You gotta teach kids when to use them and when not to use them. But like, yeah, I'm fuck it. As we get older, it gets a little, you know, if he's 13, son of a bitch. Fuck, you know what I mean? Fuck, all right, man. He's fucking 50. Fucking hell. Like, you know what I mean? We're good. I get it. You know what fucking hell is. Like, yeah. I think there's a scale there, but yeah, I'm cool with it. Fucking language is language. It's fine. Use it.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm kind of on Alan's same track here, just knowing from my youth that no matter how much you police it, if they're going to go off with their buddies, they're going to cuss. Yeah. You know, boys or girls, I guess. I mean, not as much. I certainly think that this is where the parenting lies, because my dad talked like a fucking sailor, and he didn't edit himself or vet himself within earshot of a young me and Dewey. But he was a firm believer about there's a time and there's a place. Okay. There's a time where you can use these words. There's a time when you can't. You have to address the room. You have to assess the situation. You have to understand your company. You have to figure out if that's going to fly over well. If someone's grandma, someone's Mima doesn't like the word, don't use that. Don't say those fucking things. See, did it right there.
Yeah.
I'm friending it. It's just, it is a slippery slope, because kids are going to push the boundaries, and there's going to be slips. There's going to be like, oh, fuck that. Oh, I said it. Oh God.
Well, and see, this is why me, as a parent, like, I've had the conversation with him, and I've let a few slide here and there. But I'm kind of on that it's never okay, because they're gonna push the boundaries anyway. So if you start the boundary at like never, and then one or two slips through, then you haven't created some monster, because I think a lot of kids use it because it's the forbidden fruit. And so if you let them start eating the forbidden fruit, that's all they fucking gorge. Just like sugar on Halloween. Just, blah, blah, fuck, damn, shit, cock, pussy, twat. Whoa, twat. Where'd you learn that one? They'll just keep using them all the time, whether it's no matter the situation, appropriate or not. And so I've kind of been on, and I don't cuss around him. It's tough. My radio training helped me kind of like, I know when to rein it in. But the other day, I heard him yell, "Damn it!" He was building a pillow fort in my room. All the blankets fell off the bed, yanking the pillows with him. I thought it was appropriate, damn it, so I let it go. However, Mommy heard it. She's like, "You need to go talk to him." So I go back there, I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing, man? You can't let Mom hear you say that. And you don't say that in the house." Like, seriously, man, like, this is why I tell you not to do it, because eventually you're going to accidentally do it in front of someone who's not supposed to hear it, and then I got to come back here and have a conversation with you. So if I hear you do it again, no iPad. Boom, slam the door, and I walk away. So that's how I've handled the situation. I stand firm on never, with leniency towards situational.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a good conversation. I was with my cousin, L.A., who you've met, Murr. His son is 13, and on Christmas, he came out to grab something while me and him were just bullshitting on the back patio, and I slipped out of bullshit, and I kind of was like, "Oh, excuse me." He's like, No, don't worry about it." He knows not to say that in front of his mom. I was like, "I can speak candidly." He's like, "Yeah." And I'm not saying I slipped F-bomb after F-bomb, but I certainly was a little loose-lipped after my fourth beer. And I could kind of tell in his eyes he enjoyed being around the guys. He enjoyed having a little, like... Sure. Adult sailor poo-poo talk, which is a rite of passage, I guess, in its own right.
Well, and I think, Alan, you kind of brought this up too, though. It's like, I mean, how? Even on clean network TV, like, every third word's bleeped. Like, what are you supposed to tell them the bleeps are?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not saying it's acceptable, but it is a part of the vernacular, and it's almost like a wishy-washy, like, well, I don't want them using it, but if they're gonna, they hope they use it right. So where do you draw the line, I guess?
Yeah, like I said, man, I think at the end of the day, they're gonna get to using them. They're gonna get to the point where they can and cannot use them at some point. So fuck it. Just make sure that it's situationally appropriate. My fucking take on cussing. Like, I don't give a shit. So
there's a regular listener who calls you fucking Alan. Yeah. You had two older brothers, significantly older. Did they ever vet around young Alan's ears?
No. So I was like 3, 4, 5 years old, and they used to carry me around. I was and basically they fucking trained me to whenever they said the word bingo, I would flip people off. And so I would just sit on their shoulders, and they would walk around the house or some shit, and like they'd have friends over, and they'd be like, "Yo, bingo," and I'd be like, "Bow" to their friends, and just flip them the fuck off. And I was like a little kid. Yeah, no, absolutely not. So, yeah, I do use it, man. It's language. Just know how to use it and know situationally where to use it. Yeah.
What about like language jars? Like what about foul mouth jars? I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, that doesn't work. And plus, kids don't have money unless it's my money, so I'm basically paying myself and my money with a swear jar. So it's like,
yeah, that's just silly.
Yeah, but my problem is like the other day he said something like, he's like, "What the damn?" I was like, "That's not how we use that one.
That's not how you use that. That's not even funny."
And I'm just like, so. And then
now, if you were like mother bitch, okay, that's funny. I like that one. That works. That flows a little. You put an accent on it, Yeah,
okay, but that's only if you're using it ironically, and you're not old enough to use it ironically, Alan.
That's right. Yeah.
So I got to fight this like weird urge to correct the speech pattern and be like, it's what the hell. You don't use damn like that. Damn is more of an expression more than anything. I mean, you can replace where you should have said what the fuck. That's what you should have said. But we don't use fuck. You haven't graduated to fuck yet. We're stuck at hell and damn.
You should show him a Ron Simmons montage.
And he is experimenting with the middle finger, but because I can't explain to him that's
connotation. That's
sign language for fuck you. I'm like, listen, you're gonna throw that up to the wrong person, and you're gonna get beat up for an unknown reason. So stop.
This is like one of those parenting things where I feel like you got to find like an outlet, right? Like he's dabbling. He's like, I'm dabbling with the middle finger here. I'm using damn in wrong contexts. All right, let's give him a bone. Let's give him shit. It just means poop. That's really it. And then you can be like, all right, so like that's another like when you were like your pillow fort fucked up, you have been like shit, you know what I mean? Instead of like, so you're giving him a little something, but it's not, because if you let him wander, he's gonna wander into fuck or some shit, and we're gonna be in a different place.
The problem
he's going to wander into fuck or some shit.
And I'm going to be like, damn.
Damn.
No, but the problem is kids inadvertently narc you out when someone questions them about their choices. We were sitting on this is an example. We were sitting on the couch the other day.
I mean, that's fair.
And he was calling the planet, he was literally calling it your anus. And I had to stop him. I was like, no, buddy, it's Uranus, but if you're going to say it, it's Uranus. It's not your anus. You're putting a little too much emphasis there. And so he's like, why? Why can't I say your anus? I was like, because when you say that, it sounds like you're talking about someone's butthole. What? I was like, the technical word for your butthole is anus. So when you keep saying your anus, it sounds like you're talking about someone's butthole. He thought that was hilarious, and then he went on to tell my mom about it, his grandmother. And then I get the phone call like, did you tell him about your people's anus? Because he was talking about my anus. So I'm like, no, that's not. So yes, there's a lot of backfire that happens when you try to teach them the right ways.
Damn, you're still getting it from Mom, Dukes.
Right?
Yeah. I remember this. Me and my buddy of mine were climbing in a tree in our front yard, and he was talking to me about explicit things that I wanted to potentially do with a crush that I had when I was in like 5th grade ish, and something slipped out that was rather fucking foul. And I looked down, and my dad sat at the bottom of the tree with his arms crossed, looking up. First of all, we weren't allowed to climb in the tree for that. Not exclusively, just during that time period. I think he was doing work on it. And he's like, do you know why I'm mad at you? And I was like, oh, because we're not supposed to be climbing in the tree. He was like, no, that one's going to take a back seat here for a minute. How do you know what 69ing is? I don't. He said it. What is that?
That was the big one on the bus, is like people like, you don't even know what that is. Like, no, and I'm thinking back, I'm sure shit you don't know what that was either.
Yeah, people get in trouble. So, I guess the friends have it, kind of?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's an always, especially now, like I say, we live in the time we live in. So, I think I think if you come down too harshly on them, they're just going to use them, and otherwise you end up with a fucking unworldly, not prepared for life individual who will, get eaten alive on the bus. So
read the room. Read the situation.
And sadly, maybe you got to teach them to read the room. So I guess in this situation, the friends have it. Let them cuss with restraint.
There you go. Maybe put like a Hannibal Lecter muzzle on. You know, the bars in the front. We should do that to all kids. Every last one of them.
And the last thing I'll say on this is, like, and I also always feel like, you know, the things he says are a reflection on me. And if I got a kid saying, what the damn, fuck you. Fucking idiot,
man,
kid.
that's what I'm saying. You got to teach him correctly. Yeah.
Stupid. Make me look like a stupid parent, little son of a bitch. Anyway,
Right.
That is your friend or foe.
All right, stick around. Fun Fact Friday right around the corner.
It's a case of very little brain going bad.
Go pump some neurons. Expand your craniums.
And now, Fun Fact Friday.
And here we go, 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. It is your Fun Fact Friday, of course, brought to you by our very many sponsors now. Of course, you've got Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth. You can find them on Facebook. Also, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Any pain below that knee and above that ankle, go find yourself your like-minded assholes on the Facebook page. The Cuckster, is the Cuckster been up to anything recently?
It's been a bit of a cuck hibernation, but
That's all right.
2026 is 2026 is the year of the cuck.
Understood, because our new sponsor, Thunder Force Pro from Thunder Force Tools, been a little dormant, been a little shaky on the new posts recently, but make sure you look for Cuckster for Life on TikTok and Thunder Force Pro on TikTok as well. Alan, have you been up to speed on Thunder Force Pro at all?
No, I think you saw my face and nope, I don't know what that means. So, yeah.
Think of all your rudimentary tools, anything that helps your day-to-day, just with a steroid advertising plan.
Yes, yeah, 1990s kind of action figure-esque. You know, if you've got a hair clip, but you need an action hair clip, Thunder Force is where you need to take your monies to. But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. Actually caught this one from a little clip from old Johnny Knoxville on the Rogan program, but I thought it was perfect for Fun Fact Friday. So, did you know Colonel John Stapp, the rocket sled daredevil at Edwards Air Force Base, rocketed to 632 miles per hour before slamming to a stop in just 1.4 seconds, enduring a bone-crushing 46.2 Gs, more than any human being before him. Facing forward, the brutal deceleration tore his retinas, leaving him temporarily blind and vomiting blood, yet he grinned through it all, proving that pilots could survive ejection seat crashes. His wild tests revolutionized safety gear from helmets to seatbelts and earned him the title of world's fastest man.
It's a hell of a point to prove. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
40 some odd G's. The guy could barely walk. He's like, told you.
The best part about this is
Jesus.
He knew this was going to happen. So he spent, like, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 weeks blindfolded walking around his house because he knew he was definitely going blind, maybe permanently. So he's like, well, if it's going to happen, I need to know where shit is. So he fucking gave himself the Helen Keller treatment for his own house. Yeah.
42 G's.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if why that's never brought up in some of those
46.2 Gs.
Sorry, don't want to sell those last 4 G's short. You know, something like a Top Gun where they were talking about 10 G's. They should have referenced him. So that bastard. Now, perhaps it was short-lived. I think any period, a second of 42 G's. 46, sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, what was it? 1.4 seconds from... He stopped in 1.4 seconds from 632 miles an hour. So about 100 miles an hour shy of breaking the sound barrier with his face. He fucking stops. But the thing was, is he wanted to put ejection seats in the newfangled jet airplanes they were coming out with. And all the brass were like, Dad, that'll kill him. Like, nah, people can survive it. And so they were arguing with him about how many G's humans could take. So he's like, hold my beer, watch this. And he fucking rocketed himself to fucking glory.
That's hilarious.
God, and he lived to tell about it. Did he have much of a life after that?
He died in 1999, was born in 1910. He made it to like 90.
Nice. Maybe that's the secret sauce.
Yeah. That's Johnny Knoxville will never die, apparently, then, if that's the case. All right. Oh, this is kind of a follow-up from a fun fact we had last week, Wes. Did you know, in 1984, Australian doctor Barry Marshall drank a broth swarming with an unpronounceable bacteria to prove that they caused gastrus and ulcers. Basically, remember I was telling you about how, like, before they were cutting the vasgus nerve and people were like, vagus nerve. And people were just eating food and it was falling to their butthole. So in order to prove that it was like a bad gut, he poisoned himself. And days later, he developed serious nausea. He was vomiting, foul breath, had an inflamed stomach lining, then cured himself with antibiotics, proving that the ulcers were treatable and you did not have to fucking basically malign people with a debilitating fucking malady.
I think that the most interesting part of that fact was the foul breath. You know, all the other shit that's like eating his insides from the end. You know, they're like, oh, he's got bad breath. Oh, yeah, there you go. Stank ass motherfucker.
But what I love about these two facts to start things off is, like, these are people who are like, fuck you, I'm right. Watch. This is like how all Marvel superheroes are created.
Also true.
So the bacteria, this thing still exists, yeah? It's this part of the one he Molotov cocktailed into his mouth?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but he solved it. He cured it. So it doesn't, you get an ulcer. It's like, you got bad gut. Here, take some antibiotics and your ulcers will just magically disappear. But the most fascinating thing of this is, again, the timeline, 1984. Like,
right.
We were cutting a major nerve in the human body all the way up until 5 years after my birth.
Right around Nintendo.
Right?
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Jesus.
Bad Ulcer, I think, was like a game that Nintendo kicked the tires on.
Did you know? In 1878, photographer Edward Muybridge took on Leland Stanford's $25,000 bet to settle whether a galloping horse ever has all four hooves off the ground. He lined up 12 24 tripwire cameras along a racetrack, each triggered when the horse's hooves went through them, capturing a sequence of photos at 1/2000th of a second. The resulting images, of course, the horse with all hooves up. And that was the groundbreaking moment in chronophotography that led to motion pictures.
I know a little bit about this because, not to take away from the human achievement in photography, or at least that time, slow motion videography, was the fact that humans were dead set on a horse has at least one hoof on the ground all the time. Like, no, that's science. Like, no, watch, assholes. Here. I think there was some stipulation as to where he could do it. Like, Churchill Downs was like, no, fuck off. You're not going to set that shit up here. You're not going to put up your bullshit cameras here on our rails.
Your fake ass technology around our beautiful horses. Like,
I think the light's going to screw with them. Pretty sure.
Yeah. It's going to steal their souls. Look at all them cameras.
It's going to spook them.
Yeah. They are inbred to be spooked. But, yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. Yeah, I think there was I think dogs later on, same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but again,
most galloping animals.
This Leland Stanford, like, was so hell-bent on, not, like you said, like, they were obsessed with, like, a hoof on the ground that this... I mean, what's $25,000 in today's money from, 1878? Somebody ponies up fucking $25,000? That sounds like all the money in the world. I mean, that's got to be at least like $2 million by today's standards or something.
That's Dr. Evil money. That is. Yeah, you bet.
All hooves
Alan,
up, you say.
You doing the conversion rate here?
What year was it? I can't.
1878, $25,000. I'm going to say 2.2 million. By today's money.
1878, $25,000 in 1878 was roughly equivalent to between $800,000 and $1 million in today's money.
Okay. So, hey, $1 million prize and fucking kicked off the movie industry. The moving pictures, they say. Jesus.
The picture show.
Okay, so there's a theme to today's Fun Fact Friday. It's people who did shit. Did you know, in the 9th century, Andalusian polymath Abbas Ibn Femus, a physician, inventor, and astronomer, set out to conquer the skies. Centuries before Da Vinci's sketches or the Wright brothers, at around 70 years old, he crafted a primitive glider with silk, wood, and eagle feathers, attaching wings to his body and launching himself from a hill near... fuck that town. Witnesses reported that he glided for a considerable distance for up to 10 minutes in some accounts, staying airborne longer than many had before him. He finally crashed, injuring his back. He didn't put a tail on the wing, so he had no stability. So basically,
10 minutes?
10 minutes in the air, 9th century.
How does that? So I'm wondering, like, so are you gliding? Like, I'm trying to figure out, why is that not considered flying? Is that gliding?
It's unpowered, so yes, it's gliding.
Unpowered, yeah, it's gliding.
Damn, 10 minutes. That probably superseded any projection he had. Probably after a minute, he's like, God, fucking bring this fucking down.
Okay, all right. I didn't think about
72.
this part.
It's 70 years old.
I know, right? And
9th century 70? He might as well have been 1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
And one of your favorite clips to show and bring up all the time, and rightfully so, Wes, is the guy jumping off the fucking Eiffel Tower,
yeah,
and fucking lawn darting himself into the Parisian soil. And that was like
that's pride. He looked out and knew it wasn't going to happen. It's like, well, I brought the press out. Here we go.
Yeah, that's Evil Knievel shit. Like, man, they came to see me fail, so let's do it. But no, this guy did this in the 9th century. Homeboy did this obviously after they learned all hooves up, and
yeah,
so this had to be sometime like right around 1900. So you're telling me, what, 1,000 years later, dudes couldn't glide? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe it was the feathers. Maybe it was the feathers he glued on there.
That was it.
That's what he needed.
And finally, something a little more recent. Did you know, in June 2017, American rock climber Alex Honnold achieved what many called the greatest individual athletic feat ever, free soloing Yosemite's El Capitan, a sheer 3,000-foot granite wall without ropes, harnesses, or any safety gear. For nearly 4 hours, he climbed the freerider route, using only his hands, feet, and chalk, facing deadly exposure, where, of course, a single slip meant instant death, years of preparation, blah, blah, blah. Alex Honnold, Free Solo is the movie, if you have not seen it. Alan, are you aware, and have you seen this?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, you should.
Yeah, wear, gloves, because you're sweating.
The first scene is him free soloing something. It's a complete pitched 90-degree looking, perpendicular to the face of the whatever he's scaling, and I am almost walked out at that moment because it blew it sent my mind and my vertigo. And I don't have vertigo, but you're understanding my center of balance into a tailspin. I was like, what the hell? I think
it's this one. Hold on.
And
I think it's this picture.
So first, it's when the credits are done, the opening credits, and it rolls right into that. And I was like, oh my God, it is phenomenal. Him doing single, yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
Like, look at that view behind him. Like, this is just wild.
Yeah, I'm sure he's admiring that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is there were moments where he would just hang on with one hand and be like, "Blup." Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, this is wild. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's got some sort of neurodivergent fucking thing going on inside his head, which is exactly what you need in order to accomplish those feats. But he's got another little documentary thing that he's in. It's called like The Last Topoy or something like that. They're down, I think, in Venezuela, and topoys are like these. I think of the what's that thing in Close Encounters of the Third Kind? It's out in Wyoming, Devil's Tower. It's like it's like a plateau thing out in the middle of nothing, and this scientist dude's like 80 years old. He can put in to like save this land as like a natural preserve or something if they can find out if there's like unique species that have never been discovered on top of this thing. And so he gets Alex Honnold to climb up there and see if there's frogs and lizards up there. And like that's like and it's kind of weird because you don't think about science being so like physical, and if you really want to do science, like you gotta go. And it just reminds me of like David Attenborough and these guys that actually went to places that humans, or modern humans, civilized humans, if you will, had never explored. But that's how you get real shit done. So, yeah.
I think one of my favorite scenes from that documentary is he's at a high school just talking to students in a auditorium, and then there's a Q&A, and some guy's like, how much money do you make? And everyone laughs. I think one of the teachers is trying to say that's inappropriate. He says, no, I'll answer. He says, I would suspect like a pretty successful dentist. And it just very matter of fact.
It's like, what?
Yeah. How much?
How much does a successful dentist make?
Yeah.
No, so I was just Googling him. Apparently this Saturday, like coming up, he is free soloing. I guess that's what you call it without the fucking rope. The tallest building in Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
1,667 feet. It's an earthquake-proof skyscraper of steel and glass.
Okay.
And a roped guy did it when it first opened, and it took him 4 hours to do, and it was twice as long as he had anticipated it to take him. And this Alex guy was like, I don't think it'll be that bad. He's like, it's pretty... It's the sweet spot of like, it's just challenging enough, but I should be able to do it just fine.
Yeah, I don't want this guy to die.
He can, but he has to do Ninja Warrior first. And the hard course. You know,
right? Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Why hasn't he done that? Because the amount of strength you need, and that guy's stronger in his fingers than any of us are in our entire fucking bodies. Have you ever tried to do a fingertip pull up?
No.
Yeah.
No, he has a board in
maybe
his
it's like
where
a
he
child.
lives,
Like,
yeah, he has a board. Like I say, he's got a board in like his little like camper where he just like that's how he wakes up for coffee. Like just fucking doing those. I tried one. I got about halfway before my fingers just like, fuck you, man. What are you doing? No.
I'm trying to see this. Hold on. I'll try. Because it says that. So it's 101 floors. I think I said that. But it said like the tough part is there's 64 floors. I'm trying to find a good, decent picture of it.
It's just glass.
No, it says there's 64 floors that comprise the middle section, known as the bamboo boxes that give the building its signature look. Divided into 8. Each segment will have 8 floors of steep overhanging climbing, followed by a balcony that he can rest on. But he has to do that 8 times.
Yeah. But I have a feeling once he knows how to traverse it once, it's just gonna get faster every time he hits that section. Like the guy's
he's gonna just do it super fast.
Yeah, I do too. But I get it. Like, and you know, he's getting older, obviously. So stop doing that. You've already proven that you're the best that's ever done it. So stop. You're just gonna die otherwise. I don't want him to die. I like Alex on.
Yeah, but like you said, he's got like he even says it in that documentary. He's like, I gotta do it. Like, he's like so like ADD, ADHD. Like, it helps quiet his brain.
Sure, but
to almost kill yourself, basically.
Do climbs that no one else has done, but do them with ropes. Like, still be the first to do something, but just less opportunity for instantaneous death. I'm not saying maybe don't have an opportunity to maim yourself, but just not the instant death. Because there's one spot when he free solos El Capitan where I think he does like a karate kick thing where he actually almost has to completely let go of the wall for like, it's only a half. It's a fraction of a second.
It's like this, yeah.
Yeah,
but
he's writing detailed notes of that, and he had two different sets of how he was thinking about doing it. And I know what you're talking about. It's like at one point you just got to let go. Yeah,
it's like the Karate Kid move with the leg or completely let go and use the hands. And he was like, "I think I'm going to do the leg." I'm like, okay, good. God damn.
Yeah, I see what they're saying with this little segment. It's like glass that angles this way, and then at the top, obviously, there's a flat, and then it does it again.
I gotcha.
So he's got to climb out and away from the building, basically.
Jesus Christ! Well, that, my friends,
it's wild.
That, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right, tonight before you go, we have a little bit of mistaken identity, if you want to call that. If you want to call it that. A Canadian family was enjoying a vacation in Cuba. This actually comes from a couple of years ago via the AA, the Associated Press. So the family is swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. The father of 68 years old has a heart attack and dies. All right. So because there were no medical facilities, his body was covered and left on the beach in a chair in the hot sun for about 8 hours before authorities came and picked it up to take it to Cuba. The daughter goes on this wild goose chase to try to figure out how can she get dad back for a proper funeral. The Canadian consulate basically advised her on the steps that were needed, which cost her 10,000 Canadian, which is the equivalent of 7,300 US. Okay, so not a walk in the park, not a pack of Skittles or M&Ms, $7,300 to have the body returned home to the family, only to discover that when the casket arrived, it contained a body of a Russian man who was roughly 20 years younger than her father, full head of hair and tattoos. She then reached out to the consulate again. They reached out to the Cuban authorities, and basically they don't know where Papa is.
Yeah, you gotta let that one go, I think.
Yeah.
Go to war with Havana?
Yeah, I mean, I think in those situations, you just ask, would you guys mind cremating the body and sending me the remains? And then that way you just don't know. Your conscience is clear. You try to get Papa back. It is what it is. To you it means something. Dad don't care, okay? Dad ain't there. Daddy done.
So you're saying remains of something doesn't necessarily have to be a human.
Yeah, the Cubans just
did it.
want their American dollars, and they'll give you something in return. It's pretty brazen to be like, is this some Cubano dude just fucking standing there with a fucking stogie, just like, nah.
Well,
it's a body, right?
It's Jarjor, so obviously it's an Indian last name, and they sent him a Russian dude. This isn't necessarily like these guys kind of look alike. 20 years younger, head of hair, bunch of tattoos.
How many Juan Doe bodies do they have lying around?
Listen, I mean, one could assume that the morgue at Havana might be a little. The rules and regulations might be a little shaky. I don't know. One's as good as any. Get it up there to Canada. I mean, Alan, how would you feel if you were in this young lady's shoes?
Guy?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. As long I kind of like Murr's idea. Like as long as you can send me a box of ashes of the right guy, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
Now, if you lost him, that's a different story. I mean, you all fucked up.
But I'm trying to think of
I'm keeping this Russian body though until you give me a good one.
Well, they sent that back to Russia free of charge, just because there's a happy ending for somebody.
Nice, that was nice of them. That's a big freight charge, I think. So yeah, I mean that's nice. That's a good policy. That's good customer service, really.
It didn't say whether or not the Russian family was looking for this guy.
I know, right? Yeah, I would assume tattooed Russian in Cuba. I'm just gonna assume a lot of family members weren't on the search for him.
That's right. Oh, he's still alive? Well, he was. Kind of.
I feel like you get him. He's on your doorstep. You open and huh? Would you look at that? There's Mikhail.
Yeah, it's actually Syrian, by the way. Just to clear the air on the nationality here. And the family described the father as an active man who didn't drink or smoke, and he was always smiling. She said.
How about an all expenses vacation to Cuba? Nice
or like a bunch of fucking Cuban cigars. They're worth a pretty penny.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good restitution.
How many are we talking?
Or like a 1955 fully restored 1955 Bel Air. Ship one of those bad boys up here.
Yeah,
you got plenty of them.
With a Maytag washer engine for dryer engine for a
no,
transportation.
Man, they actually I was reading an article about how because obviously embargo and all that shit, they basically set up factories to just make old car parts. They just remanufacture. They basically like OEM manufacture fucking car parts.
They make car parts for the American working man because that's who they are and that's who they care about.
That's who they are and that's who they care about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God. Listen, when that whole regime finally falls apart, like that's exactly that whole island just needs to become that. It's like the Grease Monkey Garage, like 1950 style.
I mean, that and doctors, like they're really good at that. That their doctors are the shit.
Cuban doctors, Cuban physicians are good. Oh.
Yes. Man.
I'm not being a dick though. Because obviously there's going to be some very high end things that they're not good at. But
I'm sure.
What general practitioner shit,
dude. Even like surgeons, because most of them go to like fucking other esteemed universities around the world, just not the ones in the United States, and then come back to Cuba. And there's like really like now they have very good medical schools down there. They don't work anywhere else in the world because everybody's like, ew, Cuba. But like I swear, if you like Google it one day just randomly, like you'll be like, wow, they have like cutting edge cancer treatments and like all types of crazy shit. We're like, well, we either you give that to us for free or no, and they're like, nah, and we're like, well, all right then. People keep dying.
Where are you going? I've got to go to the doctor. Which doctor? The doctor. There's like one for the island.
Like I was watching another fucking I forget what it was, but it was like a group of like elderly people like going to Cuba to get like surgeries and shit.
Yeah,
because they're super cheap and like. Yeah.
I've been with people in Mexico, people from the States and Cuba who were getting surgeries and stuff down there. Dental work because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, dental work.
Like that. Yeah. Well, so they're good. They're good at medical care, but post-death body identification, they have a little bit of education.
You know, morgues are shaky. Yeah,
gotcha.
I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, what's up with Turkey having like doing all the hair transplants now? Isn't that like that just seems like something?
Is that what their thing is?
Yeah, dude. Because of me, half of my ads are for fucking Turkish fucking hair transplant.
Oh, well, I mean, they're a hairy people, are they not? Maybe it's like you innovate what you need, right? You know what I mean? It's like you know what I mean? Like English people were like, let's fucking make a pudding out of blood, and like you know what I mean? You innovate where you're at. You know what I mean? And Turkish people were like, you know what? We're hairy. And not being hairy is really not our thing. So let's figure out hair restoration. And then Turkey just became the forefront, at the forefront of hair replacement.
See, I thought you were saying they share their hair with the world. Like, come to Turkey, get some of we'll shave and we'll give you.
Well, that's also probably part of it, honestly. You know what I mean? There's probably an aspect of that.
Get yourself some Turkish hair.
There's some guy named Abdul with like 13 back grafts. Come on in.
Yeah.
Thick and luscious. Sit down.
Yeah.
I got one more in me.
They have just bear factories. There's a lot of bear talk today recently, but and those guys just shave off sheets of real human hair and then they put them on Murr's head.
I don't even want it. That's the shitty part about it is getting all these ads. Is like I'm not going to Turkey. Apparently, it's to them like I think it's like 7,000. There's the thing. It's like $7,000. But you stay at like a sandals resort and they do it and you heal there and you come back and you got this bloody mess of a fucking scalp for like a month and then your hair starts to come back in. But I've seen the results. They look good.
Do you have anything to declare? Yeah, new head of hair. What the fuck? All right. Alan, tell all the would-be Turkish hair transplant goers or anyone who wants to receive medical care in Cuba, where you can find the Middle Class Holes.
I think you can find us Middle Class Holes at MDL Class Holes on all your favorite social media pages. Fucking Truth Social, Telegrams, your fucking, Reddits. We have a Reddit subreddit. You should check us out there for sure. I'm lying to these people. We have a new Tumblr. It's just gay porn though, so check that out if at your will. Yeah. Middle Class Holes. There you go. I'm back.
Just me.
And I'm back, and now you have fake websites. There you go.
I was waiting for this little puppy out. There we go.
I like it. I like
We'll
it.
see y'all next week.